Stop him! Don't let him into the building!
To some extent, the principles behind accessibility are good universal design principles. So thankfully, we're able to think about, okay, well, if this information is only available on screen, well, then it's not accessible to a blind player. Or if this information is something you only hear,
Joel, there's a guy up on that second floor, right there.
it's not accessible to a deaf player.
My favorite part of user experience design is when we get to have a player sit down and play the game and experience it regardless of the barriers they might face. Seeing players just overjoyed at the experience is one of the things that brings absolute joy to my heart. User experience design allows us to look at accessibility from the user perspective. So we are the ones who are actually going into the game and looking at the different design problems that there are to solve within the game and figuring out ways that players can access that content regardless of anything that they might have a difficulty with because of accessibility concerns.
And the Game Award for Innovation and Accessibility goes to... God of War Ragnarok!
Thank you, everyone. We are absolutely humbled and grateful to everyone who's helped us in this journey along the way, because playing games is what's important for the players. It's you all, you who play the games, that are really the ones that deserve this award. Everyone who was on the team at SMS, we are truly honored to be with you. Thank you so much, Eric and Yumi, for supporting us, John and Jason for being there while we were trying to make these accessibility features happen, Katie, Sam, and Zach, my closest cohorts when we were trying to make these features, and all of our team in the QA and accessibility research teams, the UI UX team, and everyone who made it possible. I can't thank you enough, and I think that the players themselves are the ones that are going to benefit the most. This is a race that no matter who wins, the player is the real winner. So let's go out there and make all games have no limits.
And this is Matthew Gallant, who is the game director of The Last of Us Part 1 Remake, celebrating Mila Pavlin's win for accessibility for her work on God of War Ragnarok. Mila's win was a tearjerker for a lot of us who are video gamers and UX designers. And you could even see it in Matthew's eyes. At the end of the day, a UX designer cares about other people, and our work is centered around being able to include more people to the experiences and the culture building of not just video games, but other products that we are tasked to care about. But while accessibility, user experience becomes more prominent in design, there are some challenges that we face in the public eye.
The same button 30 times.
The person in the video is using multiple accessibility mode options, such as auto dodge and health regen, as well as only being on the literal prologue/introduction of the game.
Well, dude.
Oh my god.
Oh my, it's like, it's so tilting, man. It's crazy because so many people actually believe this.
Yeah.
And credit to the companies and gamers who enjoy very difficult games. However, a number of gamers use this as an escape. We're trying to get away from certain things that concern us and use this as an opportunity to relax. That's what a lot of video games are to people. And it's an interesting thing if you notice that a number of the games that have these accessibility options where the game can be easier for those who don't want a challenging game but want to experience the story, they're all Sony games. But Sony games don't have a monopoly on accessibility. Blizzard also does it as well. When you first load Diablo 4, this is the first screen you meet. One of the challenges here is that, well, this is the first screen you see, and there's a lot of options that may not be relevant to people. However, when it comes to the long-term experience, it can be beneficial if you don't want certain things to be apparent and others to be apparent. However, the problem here, I have to note, is that this doesn't make the game easier. If anything, difficulty and challenge is a part of the Diablo experience, and so with story not being the emphasis, you won't see ease of gameplay as a part of the options here. Whereas other story-heavy games like Final Fantasy XVI, God of War, Last of Us, options of difficulty factor into that experience. What I'm overall trying to emphasize is that user experience matters, and a lot of game studios, especially the ones under Sony's wing, understand that. And when it comes to the more mundane, the more run-of-the-mill mainstream non-video game interfaces, like the stuff I do, whether it's e-commerce, sports betting, anything that you see in the world that is digital, you don't see that maturity And that is a big issue right now. If we want to be realistic about this, we have to accept that at the end of the day, making things more accessible is more profitable. You address a larger variety of people, and it's something that not everyone outside of video games understands. But it is incredibly validating when we have other peers in other industries gain wins and get recognized for it. So with Mila and everyone else who has achieved greatness on behalf of UX, thank you.